So everyone always shows the highlights of being a full-time day trader. The freedom, the lifestyle, the charts. The truth is, trading is 90% structure and only 10% screen time. So today I wanted to walk you guys through the actual routine that I follow here in Dubai as a full-time day trader. Not the Instagram version, the real version. What I do each morning, how I plan each session, and how I keep my head straight when the markets are really testing my patience. Because once you do go full-time into day trading, having a routine isn't optional. It's how you survive the markets. So I'll be honest, I'm not waking up at 5:30 in the morning, going out for a massive run and doing push-ups in my apartment when it's so early in the morning. I usually get up around 7:30, 8 o'clock. The first thing I do is grab a coffee and I get outside. So even if it's just a walk, a small jog, just get some fresh air, get some sunlight, just get the blood flowing. Once I'm done with that around 9:30, I will come back, I'll check the charts, I'll see what happened during Asia session while I was asleep. And then I'll just start marking out my key levels and potentially planning on some trades to take that day. But this is where the discipline starts. I'm not trying to take trades, I'm not trying to force setups this early on in the day. All I'm looking for are key levels, my daily bias, and potentially anything where I believe it may get hit in one of the sessions that I do trade. Because I know a lot of you guys, you wake up in the morning, the first thing you check is MetaTrader or TradingView, and then you're straight into trying to trade. And you've had no real analysis of the market that day. You're still half asleep, so your decision making isn't going to be 100%. And at that point, you are just gambling. You're not trading how a trader should do. And this is where most markets die. Most people put their losing trades, especially me when I was unprofitable, either in the morning straight away or in the evening once your day's finished. And this is how your accounts are dying. I use these times to get clarity within the markets, write down notes, and visualize what I'll actually do when the price does potentially hit one of my key levels of interest throughout that day. But once I've done that bit, I'm not straight into trading, I'm off my laptop. This is usually when I will head to the gym, go out for some breakfast, grab a coffee outside of my apartment. This is to make sure that I'm not constantly on the charts, and it's not the time that I will trade. So I don't want to be anywhere near the charts because I don't want to put myself in a position where I feel like I'm forced to take a trade. So I trade the first 2 hours of London session and the first 2 hours of New York session. So in Dubai, the time in the UK has just been pushed back, so I actually get an extra hour now of where I can go out in the morning and just stay away from the charts. This really helps me because I'm not sat there stressing about where price is going to go constantly. I have my set times, I have my set routine in the morning, and that's what keeps me going every day. So when London session does start, which is usually around midday for me, this is the start of my trading window. I'm not looking to place a trade straight away. I'm just purely looking at the charts to see what price does and to see if it hits any of my key levels or any of my potential trade ideas for that day. I still get my rules out. I read through them out loud so I know exactly what I'm doing each day. For me, maximum of 2 trades, maximum of 1 to 1.5% loss or risk for the day. No over trading, no FOMO, no revenge trading. They're pretty basic and simple rules, and I know everyone always goes on about these, but these are the most important parts about trading and the most important thing that you need to understand as a trader. So I'll also put my personal phone away. I lock it in my bedroom and just keep it away from me. I have a separate phone for trading, as well as my laptop and my monitor, which I have open. I execute trades on the phone, and I've got 2 charts open all the time as well. So that means it's just me and the charts for the next roughly 2 hours. So my goal isn't to be active all day trying to find trades. It's purely just waiting to see if any setups happen within these first 2 hours of London session. If they don't, I walk away. If I do find a trade within my allowed time frame, I'll simply enter, set my stop loss and my take profit, where I believe they will go, and I'll just wait. I'm not going to be changing my stop loss, I'm not going to be editing my take profit, I'm simply just waiting to see what price does. If price does get to 50% of my take profit, I will potentially look at closing the stop loss up to break even. However, the majority of the time I will just leave the stop loss where it is, just because it's happened to me many times before where price has gone up, it's dipped back down to my entry point and then went straight to my take profit. Obviously, if I set my stop loss to break even at that point, the trade would have been cut. So regardless of what happens within London session, if I take a win or take a loss, as soon as that time is up, which is roughly 2 hours, I'll close my laptop and I'll be straight back outside. I'll either go and grab some lunch, I'll just go for a long walk for an hour, just get some exercise and just take some time away from the charts. Because sitting in your room, your office, wherever you trade from, staring at a screen or multiple screens for a long period of time is not good for your mental health. And as I've mentioned before, the mental side of things within trading is the most important part. So even though you might be following your rules, just sitting there watching the screen, watching the charts will affect you mentally as well. So if I didn't take a trade, or I potentially won a trade during a London session, obviously then I would go into New York session, which is around 4 or 5 o'clock for me here in Dubai. Again, if I've hit my max loss for the day, or if I've got to a profit target that I'm happy with, I won't trade New York. Potentially I might have a quick look every 15-20 minutes throughout the first 2 hours. Apart from that, I'll simply walk away, because that's discipline, that's consistency. How many of you guys have been up 3-4% on your first trade of the day? You're feeling amazing, you enter again, you're now down 1-2%, and then you think it's fine, I'm still up 2%, I want to try and get back to that 4% level. You take another trade, you end the day at a break-even point or a loss, and you kick yourself because you are up 4% on your first trade. This is why I take so much time away from the charts. I'm only on the charts for around 4 to 5 hours per day, and that's maximum on the charts. And I split this up into different segments, about an hour early morning, 2 hours at the start of London, and potentially 2 hours at the start of New York as well. That is the only times I'm looking at the charts each day. So once I'm done for the day or hit any of my targets, so either my loss or my profit, I will then get on with other things. Going to the gym, meeting friends, editing content. That all keeps me away from the charts. That's why I make these YouTube videos. I want to help you guys, but it also gets me away from trading. It gets me away from looking at the charts and trying to force trades that aren't there. So once that's all done, it's the evening, I'm winding down for the day. This is when I'll journal my trades, because this gives me a really good time to think about how that day went, not just with profit and loss, but how I followed my rules and how my emotions were throughout the day and throughout each trade. And as I mentioned before, I don't rate each day in my journal by profit and loss. I rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 in regards to how well I've followed my own rules. And as I've mentioned before as well, typically the days where I score myself higher, I've also won a lot more. And this is where 99% of traders fail themselves, is they don't take time to reflect on their trading day. How many times do you keep repeating each bad habit? You keep revenge trading, you keep over risking, you keep just over trading, you're becoming greedy, or you're getting FOMO, so you're forcing trades, but you keep doing it. And this is where journaling really helped me overcome these bad habits of trading, because I could sit there, I write it down, and I've got a note, a physical note of what I did that day, why it failed. And sometimes in the mornings, I'll just read through the last week, the last 2 weeks, see what I failed on, see what I can improve on this day. And once I've done my journal in the evening, that's it. I go to bed, I get a good sleep, and we go again tomorrow. But it's staying consistent throughout the trading week, which is where you get a good edge in trading. But of course, the hardest part throughout the whole week is obviously the mental side of things. Staying consistent within a routine is fairly easy to do, but it's the mental side of day trading alone which really gets to me, or really did get to me at the start. Because when you're day trading alone, you don't have the co-workers, you don't have the friends around you who can support you with your trading. It's just you and yourself. So the isolation of day trading alone can really, really affect you if you don't have a routine and you don't have structure throughout your day. And trading well isn't about motivation, it's about discipline. It's how you act every day, and that is where you build consistent profits and become profitable. So stay disciplined. Motivation comes and goes. It's completely besides the point of trading to have motivation. But discipline is one of the most important parts. You have to stay disciplined within your routine to become a good trader. So that's the truth about my trading routine here in Dubai. It's not glamorous, it's simple, it's repetitive, and it's sometimes boring. But that's the reality of being a full-time day trader. It's not the freedom that makes you successful, but it's the structure that you place on yourself that makes you become a successful day trader. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to like and subscribe. This also helps with other traders finding this channel, and it generally helps the growth of this channel as well. I've also put a link to FTMO, who is the prop firm that I'm using. I'm also doing a 100k challenge account with them at the moment, which I'm documenting over on YouTube and TikTok. So if you want to follow along with that journey, again, please feel free to subscribe. And I've also put a link down to XNES, who is the live broker that I use. So if you are looking to jump onto one of those, feel free to click the links below. And again, thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best with your trading journey.